Hello everybody, I am Debbie. I read a lot of books. Welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome if you haven't been here before. Today I have an audiobook for you, and I must admit this was right up my alley, this one. It's A Schooling in Murder by Andrew Taylor. Right up my alley. Murder mystery. Let's just get straight into that blurb. England, May 1945. Monks Hill Park School for Girls seems a world away from the violence that engulfed Europe during the World War II, yet its lonely, decaying grounds have witnessed a murder. Annabelle Warnock, a teacher with a secretive past, left for the holidays and never came back. Both teachers and girls assume she simply walked out, but the truth is quite different. Her body tumbled from the Maiden's Leap, a viewpoint on the cliff-top Gothic walk, and was washed out to sea. But Annabelle herself is still trapped at Monks Hill, unable to move on. As she haunts the ground in school, she discovers a hidden world. Students, staff and servants are riven with deadly rivalries and dangerous tensions, and one of them is her killer. This was 11 hours 13 minutes to listen to in crime, thriller, historical and mystery, and yeah, I loved it. So it was read by Natalie Buscombe. Is it Natalie or Nathalie, because there's a H in there, and this is all done from the point of view of Annabelle after she's died, and nobody knows that she's dead. So it's an interesting one to look at from the point of view of essentially a ghost who is trying to figure out how to communicate that she is dead to people who think that she simply just went away. And you find out about her relationships, and there comes a point when she is able to communicate with somebody via a typewriter. And so there's a point when she realises that what he is typing is what she is saying. And so she uses that to her advantage, and she communicates with him via his typewriter while he is writing a story. And it's interesting when she actually gets him to type where she died, which was Maiden's Leap, and she gets him to type it out quite a few times. Maiden's Leap, Maiden's Leap, Maiden's Leap. And yeah, it's so good. I feel like I can't say too much about it just based on where it ends up, but the ending was like satisfying and not satisfying in the same way. Because when you finally find out who did it, and there's kind of a bit of secretive stuff happening, and Annabelle herself not wanting the full story to get out. So yeah, it's just, you see her observing the students and the fellow teachers and people she had relationships with, and seeing her just going round the school, and then there's the point when her energy drains and then she wakes up the next day, but she's not exactly sleeping, it's more that just the time passes and she just turns back up again. It's really hard to describe. It's just after World War II, so you've got the historical side of it as well. I think it is kind of advertised as kind of historical fiction, and I just thought it was really clever. And it's not often you see books from the point of view of the dead person. Is it The Lovely Bones that does that? I really enjoyed Lovely Bones, but I've never watched the film of that. Interestingly enough, I probably should, because I've heard it's actually quite good. But yeah, just the audiobook of it was really good to listen to. It was one that I was listening to on my walks at work, which is quite common for the audiobooks. Like, I'll do it on my walks, and yeah, I just thought it was really interesting seeing Annabelle essentially investigating her own murder, even though nobody knows that she's dead. Nobody knows there was a murder, and that unique way that she is able to communicate with one person at a typewriter. Yeah, it was fascinating, it was interesting. The murder mystery really did have me hooked. And it's so nice to have something that kind of puts that slight twist on it, because you are seeing it from the point of view of somebody who is dead and nobody knows that she's dead. So you're just like, well, how is this going to work? How are people going to find out? And looking at that communication between her and the writer when he realises that he's communicating with somebody who has died by his typewriter. It's so clever, it's so interesting, and I really enjoyed it. If that sounds interesting to you, I definitely recommend it. I have to see if there's any other Andrew Taylor books. At the moment, I think this is the only one that's on here by him. But yeah, I found it really clever and interesting, and right up my alley in regards to the murder mystery, while also having that historical fiction in there as well. So yeah, it's one that I recommend. I really enjoyed it. A Schooling in Murder, Andrew Taylor, narrated by Natalie Buscombe. There you go, that is your front cover. So yeah, if you do have any recommendations for me, go ahead. Especially as I'm really starting to realise just how much I like historical fiction. History wasn't really my favourite subject at school. Sometimes it had to do with the teachers as well, but I've definitely become more interested in it as I've gotten older. Because as I said when I was talking about The Household by Stacey Halls, just having that background of something that has actually happened, yeah, it's an interesting way to get the history out in a kind of almost an educational way, but still having that slight fiction twist on it as well, which was very interesting in The Household because it was based on something that Charles Dickens and the real life Angela Coutts worked on. So it was so much inspired by real things, and in this case it's a historical event that this is off, kind of like the backbone of. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching and listening to my thoughts about this. Yeah, A Schooling in Murder, Andrew Taylor. Just thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another video. I am off to eat pizza, which is well deserved because I have been walking with my mum and my niece today, and have managed to do almost 8,000 steps just walking around town. So yeah, but we finally took my niece to the bookshop, which was what I was hoping to do because it's a great bookshop. We've got a new bookshop in town, and I wanted my niece to see it. We ended up at the toy shop, of course. Anyway, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!